is. And in addition to which, I have to say that if Kayleigh McEnany had told Sam Donaldson and me what questions we should ask, that would not have gone well, Jonah.
Yeah, look, it's nice to see Donna so deferential to Kayleigh McEnany. I think her behavior is indefensible and grotesque.
Oh, shut up! You're a rat like the rest of them.
She is, there's this cliche in Washington that President Trump wants a Roy Cohn as DOJ, as the Attorney General. What Donald Trump wants in a press secretary is a Twitter troll who goes on attack, doesn't actually care about doing the job they have, and instead wants to impress an audience of one and make another part of official Washington another one of these essentially cable news.
This is right.
Gladiatorial arenas, and it's a sign of the defining of deviancy down in our politics, and it's only going to make things worse.
Josh, rather, in the time we got left, the White House press secretary is always a complicated job. They work for the White House, but they're paid by taxpayers. They are public officials. And Kayleigh McEnany isn't acting like she is working for the public. She acts like she is what she used to be, which is a spokesperson for the Trump campaign.
Look, Chris, I just disagree. I think Kayleigh's doing a nice job.
Tell him, my brother.
From this conversation that we've had this morning is the context by which she is making these statements. I think that any spokesperson
we're going to pop in a second.
World, whether it's in the White House or the campaign, finds themselves under constant attack by the press. The confrontational nature by which journalists approach the question is not really to obtain much information so much as to try to back them into a corner. And I think Kayleigh said, I'm not going to play that game. And so, yeah, it is completely different than what we've seen from years and years of briefings from press secretaries. But I think it's reflective of the nature that we find ourselves in.
Let me just say, Sam Donaldson and me in the Reagan White House, we were pretty tough on the White House press secretaries, and we never had our religious beliefs questioned or were lectured on what we should ask.
Oh.
Thank you, panel. See you next Sunday.
So here we go. Frankie Russo coming at you straight out of Brooklyn. We're all set up tonight. So basically, before we get into the Chris Wallace joust, right? I just want to go through some headlines that's in the open source right now. So basically, President Trump is quarantined, it's my understanding, he's got a travel ban from Brazil to the United States. He did that today. Hey, we got to do what we got to do to protect our nation. Our president's doing an amazing job. So we got that going on. Also, so then we got on another front, Epstein doctor claims Epstein ran a pyramid scheme with ever revolving door of girls. Epstein ran his sex ring like a perverted pyramid scheme, paying his young victims to bring him new girls to prey on. I don't believe he killed himself. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but based on the patterns, I don't believe he killed himself. I don't know that for a fact, but I don't believe Epstein killed himself. That's my opinion. So, as Zeth Rich goes unanswered, Jeffrey Epstein goes unanswered, and the great DHS co-founder Philip Haney, they're claiming he died. He put that he committed suicide. That goes unanswered. So we believe that he was murdered. I don't have incontrovertible truth, but what's up, Johnny? Johnny S. But that's where we're headed with this. Then we got, what was interesting is, straight out of Brooklyn, Johnny S. Absolutely. So we're going live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. So I'm just going through some news cycle. I'm just doing some news cycle stuff. Did you see the picture of Khloe Kardashian? What a transformation. They showed her when she was younger to today. Crazy transformation. Wow. Now, according to the New York Post, Canada stands by China stands by the pledge to implement U.S. trade deal despite tensions. Okay, we'll see. Like President Trump said, we'll see. China repeated its pledge to implement its landmark trade deal with U.S. amid growing tensions between two countries. China will continue to boost economic and trade cooperation with other countries to deliver mutual benefits, according to the New York Post. So President Trump talked about a $250 billion deal. Never before in the history of this country we got a deal like this with China. Hopefully, like President Trump is saying, he's taking a wait and see on this. So according to the New York Post, they're reporting that China intends to implement this trade deal that they negotiated, that President Trump negotiated with them. So we'll see, right? So we'll see. So we got the president quarantining. Oh, I didn't see it, Johnny Skin. It's very, very cool. I didn't see it. Very cool. I didn't see that. Very cool. I didn't see it. Very cool. So I didn't see the NASCAR. So the New York Post is claiming it's time for the New York Post op-ed board is claiming it's time for Cuomo to give up dictatorial power. Let democracy return to New York. It's disgusting what he's doing over here, right? And we talked about this, right? The rat and the two Fredos and the Sandinista, right? Claiming that the CDC guidelines said that he has to. No, it doesn't say that he has to it was his decision. He walks around like he graduated from Weill Cornell. I'm telling you, this guy, the Cuomos, didn't learn anything from their parents. Their parents were honorable people. Their mother, who they still have, she's an honorable woman. They didn't learn anything from their parents, right? The Cuomos are the Fredos. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sliwa what? Did he really? Scandalous. Is that true? Wow. Curtis knows me, When I used to broadcast at ABC, when I first started, he's a funny dude. Curtis is a funny dude. I didn't know that. Wow, that's funny, man. He's a funny dude. So, according to the New York Post, it's past time for Cuomo to give up dictatorial power. He's a joke, right? He acts like he's got his Weill Cornell medical degree. He's an MD, and he actually, he doesn't understand. Does he understand that the curve is a probability distribution? If these doctors, who some have studied maybe 8 to 12 years, that dedicated their entire lives to studying of the human body. I'm gonna check that out. Johnny. Yes, thank you for that footnote. I appreciate that. Thank you, my brother. But if these doctors don't know, that's what the purpose of the probability distribution is. Because they don't know, right? So they're trying to make predictions, in all likelihood, no probability, to give something more information to the decision making. Cuomo acts like he knows. And he blames, he's some leader, right? Whenever he's making decisions and they don't turn out right, he blames the other guy. And he didn't prepare for this thing. He didn't buy the ventilators. He was afraid about, the flooding of the hospitals in New York. And Trump delivered on all aspects of this crazy pandemic, horrific pandemic. Yeah, it's crazy, Johnny. And he sends the COVID patients to the nursing homes. And then he just blames Trump. Sick. I'm telling you, he's a sick dude, man. These Cuomos are Fredos, and then de Blasio's a Sandinista. This is what we got here in New York. Sick. So according to the New York Post, Cuomo has to get out of. I heard Patrick Ewing. I heard, man. I was really upset about that one. He's got COVID. I couldn't believe that, Johnny Scandalous. Crazy. Cuomo's Department of Health requiring on March 25th, issued an order, I'm assuming an executive order, to require nursing homes to accept COVID patients has cost lives, according to the. You're probably right, Johnny. His overwhelmed Department of Labor is still processing unemployment claims 3 months after he ordered businesses to close and workers to stay home, applying the same lockdown standards to a region with 40,000 cases and a region with 5 cases never made sense. It's crazy. Crazy. This Cuomo is, forget about it. They're shooting fireworks. But so he blamed Trump for the ventilators. He said he needed 40,000 ventilators. Fauci and Barex and Redfield and Guerrero were laughing at him. Right? He ended up giving ventilators away. He didn't know what he was doing. And then he sent the COVID patients to the nursing homes, and he caused a lot of unnecessary death, saying that, well, he said that they're gonna die anyway. They're the people in the. It's sick. This is sick. And mainstream media, fake news, right? They let him get away with that one. Some of them hit him, but a lot of them just let him get away with it, right? So that's what's going on there. I'm just going through the news cycle before I'm going to go over the Margarita Island vector tomorrow night. Those vectors that we believe put us in the realm of statistical significance. I'm not saying incontrovertible truth that the Wuhan virus, because of the major cover-up, he has to, Johnny, right? But de Blasio's talking about the last announcement I saw was June 1st to June 15th, opening it up. I don't know. That's the last time I saw my brother. You know? And this thing with Joe Biden and the gaffes. And then he's into these racial baiting, racial undertones in his statements. I mean, he's ridiculous. I mean, he is beyond. It's beyond belief with this Joe Biden. Beyond belief with Joe Biden. Joe Biden to me is a joke. Oh my God, absolute joke. After this, I just want to go over Michael Goodwin. Had some good articles in here. I want to go over, just briefly brush through a few of them. So he talks about, he thinks that so we pretty much surmised, we compared, because he talks about the Susan Rice emails exposes Team Obama's by the book treachery, right? So basically, we're saying that the Susan Rice email, as Fox News, like many broadcasters of Fox News, what does that mean, right? Well, we compared it to the Barack Hussein Obama fake birth certificate, so fake that everybody's talking about the fake birth certificate, and nobody's talking about his his. What up, Martin? Her CYA email. Right. So basically, talk about Barack Hussein Obama's. He's ridiculous. I don't think it's going to be Kamala Harris. I think it's. I honestly, I dreamt last night. I woke up this morning. I dreamt that Trump wins by a landslide. Now I dreamt a Trump landslide a year and a half ago, and then it goes back and forth. 2016 victory. Trump's going to win, whether it's going to be 16 or a landslide. And then we got coattails. We want the House and the Senate. We want the Congress Republican and Trump. I mean, he's a great president. Unfortunately, we're going to go over some things. But getting back to the Susan Rice email, we were comparing it to the Obama-Clinton crime family and the rogue CIA, FBI fronting this fake. Well, I do agree with you, Lee, that the only way the Democrats is by any means necessary. So they're gonna look to win this thing at the polls. When the polls open, when the voting starts, and steal it that way. Mail-in ballots. I do agree with you. The mail-in ballots, sick, right? Trump's playing. They're claiming that absolutely very bad, John. Right? Very bad. I have no problem. Our great president could. I mean, he worked so hard. I could, whatever he has to do to deal with the pressure of being the president of the United States and being, working as he does and the hours that he puts in, he's entitled to do it. He's the president of the United States, He's working feverishly to put things together for this great nation. He defends our borders every day. He's unleashed the economy, he's unleashed the military, he's unleashed the American exceptionalism. And for some reason, there's half of the country, the Democrats, are anti-American, quite frankly, right? Doesn't make sense to me. But being that said, Susan Rice's email, we compared it to the Barack Hussein Obama birth certificate. It was so fake that everybody was talking about the birth certificate. You called it Bertha. It was the ruse headed by the rogue wing of the CIA and the FBI. And basically, right, it was what was really bad was that's bad, but was really where they had a problem was the Selective Service registration card. Sounds good to me, Lee, for the grace of God Almighty, right? So the fake fraudulent Selective Service registration card. The 1980 Carter was considering implementing a draft, and the he has a lot of accomplishments, right? What up, Justin? So basically, we compared the Susan Rice as a ruse to Obama's fake birth certificate. So the open source has this fake birth certificate in the news cycle, and everybody talks about the birth certificate, and nobody talks about his Selective Service registration card, which we believe the cold case posse's vetting of that, where they got it down to the piker stamp, it was never mailed. So he didn't register. He didn't put his. And according to the federal statutes, if you have a fraudulent Selective Service registration card, because you had to get into the pool in 1980, Jimmy Carter was considering a draft. That means you can, if it's fraudulent, which cold case posse deemed that it was, the FBI didn't care because they are fronting, as they fronted the Clintons, they're fronting the Obamas, right? So it's ridiculous, Johnny. It's ridiculous. So in the open, so basically, the birth certificate was a ruse for us not to talk about his fake, fraudulent, never mailed Selective Service registration card, which would thank you, Justin, thank you for the retweets, which would have enabled him not to be in the exam, because you can't, with a fraudulent Sector Service registration card, you can't work in the executive branch of the United States government. So that was what they were getting around, putting the fake Obama birth certificate in a news cycle, and everybody focused on his fake birth certificate, and we call birthers, you call racists, and everything like that, not talking about the, so Susan Rice's, this fake ruse, this email that she put into the, before she left, into the open source to get people not to focus on what's really going on. Now, and we have some ideas like Monica Witt, Lisa Page, Monica Witt, an Iranian double agent, an Iranian spy working in the FBI. Right? That's some of the things that we're looking at. There's some other things too I'm going to bring up this week. So China, according to the New York Post, we talked about the article earlier, China is claiming, at least anyway right now, we don't know yet, President Trump's taking a wait and see, they're going to go along and implement the $250 billion deal, this phase one deal. According to the New York Post, China's going to stand by the deal. So that's great news, we hope, right? Because obviously the way they handled this virus was an absolute disgrace. We believe, and we've been going through the vectors, we believe that we're creeping toward statistical significance. I'm not saying we're in the incontrovertible truth domain, but we are creeping toward statistical significance. That the cover-up with China, Iran, and Russia took this Wuhan virus into the realm of a human bioweapon. And that's what we're going through. And we'll be hitting it tomorrow because we're in Margarita Island tomorrow, right off the coast of Caracas, with the Hezbollah, with Hamas, with the 12,000 to 20,000, something like that, Islamists, with the ODI and the X, the Nationalization Immigration Agency, giving away over 173 passports to radical Islamists from the North African Middle Eastern region. Syria, Yemen, Iraq, Lebanon, Iran. Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, we got Marwan Air, the whole thing, right? And then from there, they can fly from Caracas and go to Canada and try to get into America through the northern border. And part of the motive of this thing with Iran is the whacking of Soleimani that nobody talks about. With that being said, now Michael Goodwin from the New York Post calls out Cuomo and says his nursing home reversal, because Cuomo recently reversed the nursing home decision that he made, the executive order, the New York State executive order, March 25th, COVID patients must go into the, and then he blamed Trump as usual, the spineless leader that he is. He blames the great president, and then he takes, this Michael Goodwin talks about the fake case, the phony case against Flynn, and we just talk about on the periphery, because this is the other vector. These vectors, like the vector on July 5th, 2016, when Comey played president, Supreme Court justice, and United States senator, and rewrote the U.S. espionage statute right in front of us, right in public. So that was, to me, there isn't much more you need to know about the deep state. There it is. As my leftist friends would say, there's no such thing as the deep state. Then I point to July 5th, 2016. Are you kidding me? And then we go to December 2016, where they took a FISA warrant, according to, now I don't have, court papers, judge decisions. So this is according to Fox News's Sean Hannity, right? McCabe in deposition. I don't have his deposition. I have Alan Bender's deposition. I don't have McCabe's deposition. McCabe claimed that the FISA warrant was based on the fake Trump dossier. What else more do we need to know? The FISA warrant to surveil foreign enemy actors was based upon a fake Trump dossier. So everything is fake. So the Comey group gets the FISA warrant, to surveil foreign enemy actors, and Americans are conversating with them, right? And basically they unmask Lieutenant General Michael Flynn. They get him on one of these in the surveillance, and right, and they get him they have him in this, they're surveilling this foreign enemy actor, and Flynn is conversating with this Russian official, and then they unmask it, and then they leak it. Illegal. Fake. That's 2. What else more do we need to know? What else more do I need to know what's going on? So then, right, and just to talk a little more about Michael Goodwin, he's a columnist for the New York Post. He does a he's a fair guy. He tries to be fair. He's a journalist. He gives Trump a fair shake. I mean, I'm not saying he's a Trump fan, but he's fair, So he claims Cuomo to blame for the COVID spreading through nursing home. Cuomo's to blame, not Trump. He's the governor of New York is Cuomo. Cuomo makes those decisions. Cuomo blames Trump. That's what I'm talking about. And you wonder why Kayleigh McEnany is running the press. She's great. So Cuomo's getting hammered for these nursing homes. Hammered. So let's get to, absolutely, Justin. Let's get to this thing now. I'm going to play this again. It's about 5 minutes. And this is what this rat, Chris Wallace, said, right? He says, well, he goes back.
Turn to something else now.
DeSantis is unbelievable. Absolutely.
Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany.
Listen to this.
held a briefing.
You can hear this, right?
This is right after President Trump said he would override governors if they didn't open houses of worship right away. A number of reporters asked on what basis, under what authority, the president could override governors and make them open houses of worship. And that led to this exchange. Take a look.
It's crazy, Elbow.
Federal law allows the president to override a governor's.
The president will strongly encourage every governor to allow their churches to reopen. And boy, it's interesting to be in a room that desperately wants to seem to see these churches and houses of worship.
Unbelievable.
Yes, yes.
I object to that. I mean, I go to church. I'm dying to go back to church.
And Donna Brazil's giving thumbs up. This fraud. She admitted to fixing the primary for Hillary Rodham Clinton, and they couldn't fix the election, the general election for Hillary Clinton. So then they blamed Russia, and then Trump was a KGB agent. That didn't work. She's the best, Elbow. She's the other.
I would hope that she could tone it down.
Listen to this. This is Fox News. I like Fox News. I think they're the greatest broadcasting company on the planet. One of them, anyway. And they got Donna Brazil. This is one of Fox News' signature broadcasters. He's like one of the faces of Fox News, and he consults with Donna Brazil. I heard about OAN, and also Newsmax is great too. Fox has got some competitors. Fox better watch themselves here. They don't have Bill O'Reilly anymore. I'm telling you. He calls him that, right? Michael Savage is the best. I love Michael Savage. It's terrible, Elbow. I'm not even going to talk about the ridiculous, stupid comments that Joe Biden makes. He is absolutely ridiculous. Could you, if President Trump said half of a quarter of the stuff that Joe Biden, that's what I'm talking about, Buccaneers. That's how I'm thinking. God bless you, my brother. So we got Donna Brazil going like this. I'm like, are you like for real? Right? How insulting was that? Right? It's ridiculous.
People sitting in that room did not
she's a fixer. She tried to fix. She fixed the primaries for Hillary Rodham Clinton. She was getting her debate questions. They fixed it in California. Then if the people weren't going to vote, absolutely. Well, I don't feel sorry for Joe Biden. I don't. He doesn't come across like an honorable guy. I'm sorry. He comes across like a rat, right? Now, you got Donna Brazil. She was the chair of the DNC at the time of Hillary Rodham Clinton's run in 2016. Right? They had it fixed for. I'm not a Bernie Sanders fan. I think he's a political moron. Oh my God, Leah, I agree with you. But they'll fix that too. They'll make it less. They'll give him the questions before. He'll get the guaranteed. Guaranteed. You're probably right. Guaranteed. They'll give him the questions before. They'll fix this thing for Biden. They'll give him the questions before. Yeah, among other things, right? The superdelegates, like they did with Obama, like they did for Jimmy Carter in the 80s. That's when it was created. The superdelegates, because Ted Kennedy was looking to really, absolutely, Ted Kennedy. Well, that's right. That's a great point. Great point. Great point. Point well taken. Those are the things we got to watch out for. I'm telling you. Plus, like you said, and we've talked about this on the show, the mail-in ballots, the more votes than people live in the districts, illegals, aliens voting. I mean, it's beyond belief, right? But I had a dream. Now I'm saying deeply rooted in the American dream. No, I had a dream, seriously. I had a dream. I dreamt before in 2015, before Trump went down the escalator, Trump was going to win. I dreamt that. I dreamt a year and a half ago, I dreamt a Trump landslide, a tsunami. Really? That's crazy. Seriously. That's crazy, Conwell. Crazy. Right? That's crazy. Zeth Rich. He was supposedly involved in the WikiLeaks scenarios, right? I don't know the whole story on that. I haven't actually drilled down on it. But that's crazy. Wow. Zeth Rich. We talked about Jeffrey Epstein. He was killed. I don't have. Epstein was whacked. Zeth Rich was whacked, and Philip Haney, the co-founder of the DHS, he had the goods on the scrubbing of the DHS servers of Muslims with ties to designated foreign terrorist organizations like Muslim Brotherhood, Al Qaeda, etc. They claim he committed suicide. They put a bullet in his head. That's like Ron Brown was in a plane crash and he died in a plane crash and they found a bullet in his head. You know, he was I think he was a secretary of, he was in the Clinton executive cabinet. So, I mean, this is crazy stuff, right? And the Clintons got all these bodies all over the place. Zeth Rich. So, horrific, right? So let me just go back to this.
Whatever that means anymore. But we want to do so
down in Brazil.
In a way that don't harm ourselves and those around us.
And then McEnany,
Chris Wallace, the rat,
in the White House for a few weeks, started lecturing reporters, telling reporters who have been covering politics
that's right.
for many years.
You're right, Chris.
What questions they should.
Do you see? He's got this cat Goldberg, who's like one of these rhinos. I think he's from the National Review or something like that. Where the National Review at one time when Trump started to run, they did a whole hit piece on Trump. So this Goldberg is from the National. I think he's from the National Review. Let me check. I mean, they got some. McCarthy's from the National Review. Love Andrew McCarthy. He's the best. I'm telling you, right? So this Goldberg cat. Let me see where this guy's from. I mean, I say he's not as smart. I mean, but he's. Oh my God. Too bad. National Review. I was right. He probably did that hit piece. He probably did the hit piece on Trump when they did the whole. I don't know. Andrew McCarthy is from the National Review. So Andrew McCarthy and then there's Mark Levin are the best. And they got Jonathan Turley. They're arguably the best. Even Dershowitz, who I think even though he's an ACLU cat, the best legal scholars on the planet, right? But this guy Goldberg, oh my God, he might as well be down in Brazil. Terrible. This Chris Wallace. So Chris Wallace is saying, when he was in the press briefings in the White House with Sam Donaldson, they weren't hard. They weren't easy on the president either. I don't know. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But here, this press is beyond belief, right? They lift and take stuff out of context, and they don't. Just look at, see, what bothers me is not, we're going to go into it now in a minute. I just want to get the rest of this. And I'm going to go into the.
In this case about Michael Flynn, take a look at this.
If I write them out in a slide format, maybe we're visual learners.
I'll show you where Chris Wallace is fake news. Listen. Chris Wallace is fake news. Listen.
Not by the intel community entirely, but by Obama's chief of staff.
This is why Chris Wallace is fake news. I'm going to show you. I got a couple of instances. This is the reason why. This is the signature broadcaster at 77 WABC. Listen to this.
It's not extraordinary. Unmasking is pretty routine. The effort by
Listen to this.
An administration to find out who a masked American person is. It happens in the Trump White House. It happened, I think, 16,000 times the year before last. What's a crime is leaking it, but unmasking isn't.
Oh, wait. Whoa. He goes, but what's a crime is leaking it. It was leaked. Right? So that's fake news. Fake news. Instead of dealing with this thing the way you're supposed to, Donna Brazile should not be on that panel. She's a fake newsmaker. And he sits there with a straight face, and his father, was a distinguished journalist with 60 Minutes, right? At a time, I mean, those days, 70s, 80s, those days, it's different. Today, everything's polarized. Chris Wallace is supposed to be fair. He's a journalist, ethical journalist with integrity, supposedly. And he just says, well, asking the question, because the question is, it was leaked. That's the whole point. It was leaked. That's how the intelligence was weaponized. That's how the intelligence was weaponized. That's weaponizing the intelligence against the Americans. That's the whole point. Based upon a fake Trump dossier. So the whole thing is fake. Yet Wallace will report it like it's not fake. So he's got fake newsmakers giving him fake information. And the fact that, so why should a guy like this guy, Josh Holmes, who's very good, from Mitch O'Connell, what's the majority of the Senate, Mitch McConnell. Mitch McConnell's chief of staff, former chief of staff, this guy Josh Holmes. He's very good, very articulate. He hits the points. He's cool, right? This guy Goldberg is from National Review. He's a rhino, and Donna Brazile is a fixer for the DNC. And he's sitting there, Wallace, saying he's this distinguished reporter knocking Kayleigh McEnany brains out. I mean, it is beyond belief, right? He sits there and he says, well, unmasking is not a crime. Leaking is. Well, they leaked the unmasking. So it's a crime. So it's fake. And the FISA warrant that enabled them to do the surveilling was based upon a fake Trump dossier. The IG report, and on Sean Hannity's show, McCabe said it in a deposition. So we're talking about fake news. And this is this is the stuff that drives President Trump crazy. And you can't blame him. You got fake news, fake newsmakers like Donna Brazile, fake newsmakers like Jonah Goldberg, and the fakest of the fake, Chris Wallace, that's claiming that what's wrong with unmasking and not hitting it the way he's supposed to. And saying, well, why pose a question like that? Why partition this thing knowing that a crime was committed when they leaked the unmasking? Fake news. I hope Kayleigh McEnany continues. You're probably right, Buccaneers. I don't know for a fact. I'm not. This is like, these are areas that are, we're like, you're probably right. Who knows? I mean, so I just want to finish this.
In addition to
2 more minutes, and then we're going to go to something.
Kayleigh McEnany had told Sam Donald,
which congressman, Lee?
what questions we should ask, that would not have gone well, Jonah.
Yeah, wait. So wait. He's talking about if Kayleigh McEnany would have told Chris Wallace what questions he should ask, and then he's pointing it to Donna Brazile. Donna Brazile was giving Hillary Rodham Clinton the questions before the debate, right? This is great. I mean, this is great. You know, this is what the problem is. This is where the problem is. They got fake newsmakers. The newsmakers are fake. And Chris Wallace is the biggest fraud going. And I tell you, I tried to give the guy a little slack because he's supposed to be a man of integrity, but he's not. He's not his father. I'm telling you, but this is why Trump goes nuts. This is why Trump at the last press conference, he did his thing. He pointed to Kayleigh. He just walked off the stage, and Kayleigh went on and she did a thing. She's great. This is what they deserve. Trump is doing it right now. Oh, really? Okay, Lee. Because you know something? Trump is doing it right now. Trump is saying, okay, I'm gonna deal directly because they need quotes. Don't forget, a quote from the president. He's giving them quotes. Oh, I heard of him. Dan Burton, I heard of him. So you get a quote from the president, a reporter gets a quote from the president. That's big time. That's big league. So he shouldn't give them the quotes. Don't give them away. Only give them to the ones. We don't want homers. We don't want Trump fans doing the reporting. No. We want fair reporting. Fair. Not this. That he has to have Josh Holmes there to fix this. Josh Holmes is the only cat that he's at least the kid is from the Trump side, Mitch McConnell. But at least the kid is he's straightforward, he's articulate, and he handles the issues very well, right? Because he fixes this. Holmes' answer fixes it. Goldberg is a rat. He's from the Rhino side of this thing. Donna Brazile, she's a fixer for the DNC. She's, this thing in 2016 was fixed for Hillary Clinton so much that if she couldn't beat Bernie in California, they had the superdelegates rigged for her. So she was getting it like they did with Barack Hussein Obama in 2008. He couldn't get the delegates through the proper channel. Terrible lost. Plot, terrible. Disgrazia, my Italian grandmother would say disgrazia, like disgraceful.
Yeah, look,
this is Goldberg now.
It's nice to see Donna so deferential to Kayleigh McEnany. I think her behavior is indefensible and grotesque.
A rhino. This is like Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney's talking now. This is Mitt Romney.
President Trump wants Roy Cohn as DOJ.
This is Mitt Romney now.
As Attorney General. What Donald Trump
this is Mitt Romney.
Is a Twitter troll who
he calls her right, John? He calls her a Twitter troll. You believe it? She is the. What's up, Coach? She is this Kayleigh McEnany the best. Hope Trump keeps her. Romney is a rat. That's what this guy is, Goldberg. He's a Mitt Romney special. And a Justin Amash special. That's what he is. And Donna Brazile's agreeing with him. You believe this? This is like Comey. Right? Comey. All the Democrats love Comey. They loved Comey. That's right, Plot.
She acts like she is what she used to be, which is a spokesperson for the Trump campaign.
There she goes. Right. And what are you, Chris?
I just disagree. I think Kayleigh's
tell him, Josh. This is Josh Holmes. Listen to him.
That we've had this morning is the context by which she is making these statements. I think
listen to Josh Holmes.
Person in the Trump world, whether it's in the White House or the campaign, finds themselves under constant attack by the press. The confrontational nature
listen to this.
By which journalists approach the questioning is not really to obtain much information so much as to try to back them into a corner. And I think Kayleigh said, I'm not going to play that game. And so, yeah, it is completely different than what we've seen from years and years of briefings from press.
That's strike one, Pat.
I think it's reflective of
we don't talk racing here. One more, you're out.
Let me just say,
listen to this rat.
In the Reagan White House, we were pretty tough on the White House.
Listen to this rat.
We never had our religious.
He's a rat, this Chris Wallace. Oh, God. What a fraud.
Thank you, panel. See you next
Thank you, panel. What a fraud, right? So like we said, he brings in, to this panel, he brings in 2 fake newsmakers. Wallace is a fake news. The only guy that fixed this thing was Josh Holmes. He was the former chief of staff of Mitch McConnell, right? It's crazy. Donna Brazil, stone cold fraud, liar, fixer, right? And she sits there going like this with as Chris Wallace, like Chris Wallace, right? Yeah, right? And then you got Goldberg, who's a rhino, Republican by name only, right? He was part of that National Review hit piece on Trump during the 2016 run, right? Crazy pot, right? Disgusting. Now, I'm going to show you. We talked about one vector, why our great president, I just showed you why our great president takes such a hard line. Now I'm going to show you why, right? So now, listen to this. There isn't much more you need to know, right?
Reminder, C-SPAN, created by Kate.
Okay, here we go. July 5th, 2016.
Good morning.
James Comey.
I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email system during her time as Secretary of State.
Now wait.
After a tremendous amount of work.
Wait. She had an email. That's another thing, right? So she had the server in a basement of her house giving away the nuclear codes to unfettered people, right? Foreign enemies of this country, right? Outside of the purview of the Obama-Clinton State Department, the state.gov network. And I'm supposed to believe that this is an honorable situation. Do you understand how bad this is? We have the director of the FBI standing before us. Absolutely, Justin. Rewriting the U.S. espionage statute, according to Andrew McCarthy, blind sheep prosecutor, invoking an element of intent not required by Congress for a felony violation of the U.S. espionage statute. He was the United States Senator. He rewrote it. First of all, he rewrote the U.S. espionage statute. He was a Supreme Court justice. He interpreted his new statute, and then he pardoned Hillary Clinton. The FBI director did this in one swoop, one press conference. This is the poster child of the deep state. When anybody comes to you and says there's no deep state, just say James Comey, July 5th, 2016 press conference. This is the reasons why Kayleigh McEnany, our great president Donald John Trump, goes hard on these cats. Goes hard on the press. Because these vectors are disgusting. So they loved Comey until he came back a few months later before the election and said he's reopening things. I don't know what transpired over there. Maybe some things were coming out from the Loretta Lynch and the Tarmac meeting, because there was a Tarmac meeting with Loretta Lynch, the AG, with Bill Clinton before this. This is disgusting.
Of work over the last year, the FBI is completing its investigation and referring the matter to the Department of Justice for a prosecutive decision. What I want to do today is 3 things.
Right.
I want to tell you
A
what
prosecutive, right, sure.
I want to tell you what we found, and I want to tell you what we're recommending to the Department of Justice.
Listen to this.
This is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of ways. First, I'm going to include more detail about our process than I ordinarily would, because I think the American people deserve those details.
So this is the deep state, because who runs the deep state? The intelligence agencies. The government is so big, right? So up to the time of George Tenet, absolutely, Justin. But this is just the symptoms of a government that's so big it's beyond belief. Where you have people like James Comey, James Clapper, John Brennan, Michael Morrell, Leon Panetta, right? Bob Mueller, playing the leaders, jockeying for power, jockeying for position, competing with the office of the presidency, right? Because he's right here playing. He's playing Mr. Powerful here, right? He's a United States Senator. Let's listen.
Interest. And second, I have not coordinated this statement or reviewed it in any way.
You believe him?
Department of Justice or any other
Liar, lying.
They do not know what I'm about.
I don't believe that. If you believe that, I
start by
don't believe it.
thanking the FBI employees who did remarkable work in this case. Once you have a better sense of how much we have done, you will understand why I am so grateful.
Crazy.
And so proud of their work. So first, what we have done. This investigation began as a referral from the Intelligence Community Inspector General in connection with Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email server during her time as Secretary of State. The referral focused on whether classified information was transmitted on that.
So this is like they're functioning as James Comey right now, but in a bigger setting, right? In a bigger setting. It's like the Benghazi situation, right? When the Obama-Clinton crime family in the middle of a campaign, Benghazi happens. So who fixed it for them? They put together an ARB, an Accountability Review Board, headed by Bob Pickering, headed by Admiral Mullen, and they came up with an entire array of interviews, right? And came up and exonerating. Why are we not shocked, right? Exonerating Obama and exonerating Hillary Rodham Clinton, right? And then we got Trey Gowdy on tape questioning Hillary Clinton and pretty much implying directly or indirectly that Bob Pickering and Admiral Mullen, the Accountability Review Board members, right, that were running the investigation in the State Department, was fixing the witnesses on who and should and could and would testify at this Trey Gowdy Oversight Committee on Benghazi. It was disgraceful. And she started to go into her screaming and what difference does it make scenarios. I mean, it is an absolute travesty what happened over there. Not calling the air support to the Americans because they were afraid that the weapons they gave the Islamists were going to be used, the U.S. manpads, the Soviet manpads, to shoot down the air support. They were afraid because they already done it already. I'm going to have that article for you tomorrow.
Personal system. Our investigation looked at whether
absolutely, Justin,
that classified information was improperly stored or transmitted on that personal system in violation of a federal statute that makes it a felony to mishandle classified information, either intentionally or in a grossly negligent way.
Intent. There it is, intent.
Or a second statute.
Intent.
Making it a misdemeanor to knowingly remove classified information from appropriate systems or storage facilities. And consistent with our counterintelligence response.
John Deutsch, CIA director under Clinton, William Jefferson Clinton. Hillary Rodham Clinton was the first lady. I think she became United States Senator before Bill Clinton left, if I'm not mistaken. Or right when they left, something like that, right? She was in the middle of running. At the time, too, John F. Kennedy Jr. had a problem. He was presidential timber, and he mysteriously. Oh, I am correct. Okay, he mysteriously. You're probably right, Lee. But John Kennedy Jr. would have been a serious problem for the Clintons, and he's gone. He was gone, right? The body count is beyond belief. I agree with you. So the point is now, listen.
Responsibilities. We have also investigated to determine if there is evidence of computer intrusion by nation states or by hostile actors of any kind. Now, I have so far used the singular term email server in describing the referral that began our investigation. It turns out to have been more complicated than that. Secretary Clinton used several different servers.
She used several different servers. This is crazy, right? She used several different servers, right? And let's continue.
And administrators of those servers during her 4 years at the State Department. And she also used numerous mobile devices to send and to read email on that personal domain. As new servers and equipment were employed, older servers were taken out of service, stored, and decommissioned in various ways. Piecing all of that back together to gain as full an understanding as possible of the ways in which personal email was used for government work has been a painstaking undertaking, requiring thousands of hours of effort. For example, when one of Secretary Clinton's servers was decommissioned in 2013, the email software was removed. That didn't remove the email content, but it was like removing the frame from a huge unfinished jigsaw puzzle and then dumping all the pieces on the floor. The effect was that millions of email fragments ended up in the server's unused or slack space. We searched through all of it to understand what was there and what parts of the puzzle
to fix
we
it.
could put back together again.
To fix it for her. That's what that
FBI
was, right?
investigators also read all of the
You're right, Lee.
approximately 30,000 emails that Secretary Clinton provided to the State Department in 2014. Where an email was assessed as possibly containing classified information, the FBI referred that email to any government agency that might be an owner of that information, so that agency can make a determination.
There you go, Lost.
Whether the email contained classified information at the time it was sent or received, or whether there was reason to classify it now, even if the content had not been classified.
You believe it? This guy admits on national television that he sent in FBI agents to get, because he was claiming that the Trump administration was different from other administrations, and he was able to walk right in with the FBI agents to try to get something on our great president. You believe this? He admitted it, that he sent the agents in. He said the agents went right in. He said it wasn't like other administrations. There were a lot more. There were more layers to get to the president. He said he was able to get right in. So he sent all the agents in. This is the rat that ran the FBI. What a rat!
And that's the process sometimes referred to.
You got that right, Lost. He should be in Gitmo with the Islamists.
30,000 emails returned to the State Department in 2014. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been
That's a good
determined
question,
by the
Lee.
voting agency to contain classified information at the time they were sent or received. 8 of those chains contained information that was top secret at the time they were sent. 36 of those chains contained secret information at the time.
So right now he's got 8 chains, 36 secret, 8 top classified, 36 secret on this Hillary Clinton's email servers. He's saying
8 contained confidential information.
Confidential, 8 confidential.
That's the lowest level.
The lowest level classified information.
Separate from those, about 2,000 additional emails were up-classified to make them confidential. Those emails had not been classified at the time that they were sent or received. The FBI also discovered several thousand work-related emails that were not among the group of 30,000
Sounds good, Lee.
returned by Secretary Clinton to state in 2014. We found those emails in a variety of ways. Some had been deleted over the years, and we found traces of them on servers or devices that have been connected to the private email.
So they were trying to get rid of them, and they found them.
We found by reviewing the archived government accounts of people who'd been in government.
See, because what the FBI is looking at, this is how the FBI, right? What they're looking at this is saying, right? They're there to fix it for Hillary Clinton. This is just more information they got on Clinton, right? Only God knows what they're sitting, why they wanted her in, right? This is how this game goes, right? They're sitting on the data. They're not going to tell us. They're going to use it. That's why they wanted Hillary. That's why they wanted Hillary. That's why they wanted Obama. Obama was the poster child of deep state. He's the mole of the FBI, the rogue wing of the FBI. Absolutely. The deep state, the rogue wing of the FBI and the rogue wing of the CIA. Obama is the poster child. Absolutely. Obama is the poster child of the deep state. He's so compromised. Look what they did in Libya. Look what they did in Libya. They were gun running in Libya. They run roughshod. Right? Obama was the appeaser. Right? Obama, right? Everybody says, oh, because I believe Obama was a stealth jihad radical Islamist. I don't believe Obama was a Christian. I don't know where he was born. I don't believe Hawaii. I think he's a total fraud. Like Michelle Michael's a total fraud, and those are not even his kids. So quite frankly, I really don't care about their personal life, but they're the first family of this great nation. So if they're lying about basic stuff, what else? What are they really? What are they really hiding from us? That's so important. Obama, right? Drone strikes. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but it was in the thousands. And I think I have to confirm this, but the drone strikes and the radicalism I think was the highest of any administration. So you got a fake newsmaker like Juan Williams standing up saying, "Oh, wait, right? There you go. Oh, wait. Obama whacked 3,000 Islamists in with drones. How could you say he's a Muslim he's a radical Islamist sympathizer?" That's what a guy like Juan Williams would say. And technically he did. But this is how subtle and sophisticated this whole deep state is. Because when you listen, right, Lost? When you listen to the CIA directors like Hayden, like Tennant, like even Morell, even Brennan admitted, you can't kill forever, right? So here's the thing, as Morell said, who's a rat, right? Michael Morell, under the Obama administration, yeah, they whacked thousands of radical Islamists, but the spread of the global jihadi movement was metastasizing throughout the world. So Obama achieved the pushback. You're right, Justin. I agree with that. Obama achieved the pushback because people. So people can't question. So that's what he has in the news cycle, that he whacked thousands by drone strikes. That's what the CIA did for Obama to prop up their poster child of the deep state was Obama. But to keep the game going, right? Lost ISIS metastasized. And how do we know this? The Obama Clinton crime family was ignoring all of the generals, not all of them, but the generals that they didn't like Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, like General Petraeus, who they submarined because he wasn't going to go along with Benghazi. So Obama gives the Islamists money, weapons, training, and human assets. And I agree with Dinesh D'Souza. He's the one that said in his documentary that Obama's was trying to create. They set him up, Petraeus. Petraeus was a great American. Was trying to create the United States of Islam. Obama. That's why he did all that money, sent all that money to Morsi, Muslim Brotherhood, the Sunni side of this thing. And then what he did with Iran, oh my God, what he did with Al-Qaeda in Libya. He gave them everything, weapons, man-pads, money, power. And what he did with the Muslim Brotherhood, Morsi, he said Morsi, Morsi wasn't there long enough. 1.5 billion in cash and jet fighters. Hillary Clinton was behind that as well. And Iran, oh my God, what they did with Iran. The money deal with Iran was off the hook, right? So Obama, do you see how sophisticated? You got to drill down on this thing. So he's whacking. So a guy like Juan Williams gets up. Oh, what are we talking about? Obama whacked radical Islamists, thousands of them. How's he a Muslim sympathizer? How's he for the radical Islamists? How could you say that? That's not true. But the whole point is, if you listen to the CIA directors, you can't kill forever. And that's what the policy of the Obama Clinton crime family was to kill forever. If you capture, what you're supposed to do is try to capture these individuals and really eradicate, because that would really eradicate this thing. But Obama that wasn't Obama's intentions. Obama's intentions was to spread it, was to empower it, because he looks at us as the infidels, according to Obama. We're the infidels. And he believes that the Muslims are oppressed. And that's why he did what he did. Whether he's an actual, Muslim cleric, I don't know. He's not a Christian. And he wasn't born in Hawaii. We know that. And Michael Michelle is Michael Michelle, right? And those kids aren't his. So he's a fraud. Only God knows what and that's what he's lying about. The only honest thing Obama told us was that ISIS is the JV team. He's right. That's the only honest statement Obama ever told the American people at the time, but 8 years in office. He did two things. Obama did two things. One, he became the first black president, and that was a great accomplishment. But after that, Obama empowered radical Islam. Empowered it. Employees
at the same time as Secretary Clinton, including high-ranking officials at other agencies, folks with whom a Secretary of State might normally correspond. This helped us recover work-related emails that were not among the 30,000 that were produced to state. Still others we recovered from that painstaking...
Only God knows what they have on Hillary Rodham Clinton. Only God knows what they got on her.
That was decommissioned in 2000.
Because they had, that's why, if Comey, right? You look at Ross Perot. Ross Perot had an FBI informant in his campaign, Ross Perot. So basically, like the insurance policy was that FISA warrant and the Trump dossier, supposedly of the deep state, the corrupt, the rogue wing of the FBI and the CIA. Ross Perot was there as the insurance policy to put Bill Clinton in the White House and stop HW. Now, I'm not saying that HW would have won on a head-to-head with Bill Clinton. I don't know, but it would have been interesting. Ross Perot was. I think I would. I don't have all the numbers, but I'd be willing to bet Ross Perot was taking more votes from HW than from Bill Clinton. HW was a World War II veteran. He was an Air Force combat pilot. He ran 51 missions in World War II. That's big league in my world, in the Russo world. That's big time. 51 missions in World War II. Lost. 51 missions. They wanted HW out. And Ross Perot was there to stop that. They had so much. So basically, William Jefferson Clinton took his sorry act from Arkansas to the White House. And they're the reasons why them, plus when you take the bombers, you have a real corrupt government. The Clintons and Obamas make this deep state very, very, very corrupt. And if you look at the CIA directors after George Tenet, who actually went to Candy Rice, went to Bush, the Cofer Blacks, the George Tenets, the I don't know this guy, Richard Blee, Jose Rodriguez, these were great Americans on the front line. Gina Haspel in Thailand with the black sites. These were tremendous Americans coming to the Bush administration with credible data on the 9/11 hit. And they said they're not ready. So this was the last of the Mohicans of CIA, FBI analysts trying to work with the politicians. Now, they're picking and choosing who the winners are. That's what's going on here. They don't like Trump because Trump is not in the club. He tried to extend an olive branch with Rosenstein and Sessions and Comey, and they ended up, like Sessions ended up being a total rat. Total rat. I got no problem, Giovanni. I got no problem. President Trump does his job. He's not like Obama. Obama played more golf than any president that we know alive. Well, this guy Grinnell's got a great reputation, Lee. I'll take anybody. I'll take Flynn over there, Grinnell. They got John Ratcliffe is the, if I'm not mistaken, the DNI, the director of the National Intelligence Agency. That was used to be Clapper's group. Oh, he did, right. That's right. Great point, Lee. He did. You're right. Great point.
13. With respect to the thousands of emails we found that were not among those produced to the State Department, agencies have concluded that 3 of those were classified at the time they were sent or received, 1 at the secret level and 2 at the confidential level. There were no additional top secret emails found. And finally, none of those we found have since been upclassified. I should add here that we found no evidence that any of the additional work-related emails were intentionally deleted.
Intentionally.
To conceal them.
He used it again, intent.
Our assessment is that, like many email users, Secretary
Intent.
periodically deleted emails, or emails were purged from her system when devices were changed.
She probably strapped it on.
Using a government account.
She straps it on.
A commercial account like Gmail, there was no archiving at all of her emails. So it's not surprising that we discovered emails that were not on Secretary Clinton's system.
Like you believe he's telling us the truth, Lost? Like you believe it.
1,000 some emails to state. It could also be that some of the additional work-related emails that we've recovered were among those deleted as personal by her lawyers when they reviewed and sorted her
so now
for production in late.
Now they're looking. So what he's basically doing is he's giving us. You're right, Lee. I agree with you. People are fed up, and that's why President Trump goes hard on the media, because the media are part of the cover-up, right? And let's face it, he's an outsider in a huge organization, the United States government. Think about this: the biggest corporation is Amazon, right? Amazon is basically the size of the Defense Department. Amazon is the size of the Defense Department in the United States. That's how big the United States government is. Amazon is just the size, arguably the biggest. I mean, who's big? Them or Apple, right? Amazon is the size. Absolutely, you're right, Joseph. Amazon is the size of the State Department. Crazy. That's how big this is. And Trump's in the middle of a pool of alligators, a pool of sharks, right? And he tried to extend, you can't do it alone. Paul Ryan was, look what Paul Ryan did to him, right? I voted for Mitt Romney too. I voted for Paul Ryan. I liked Paul Ryan. He turned out to be a rat. I voted for him. Who ended up being the good guy is Mitch McConnell. Trump worked out a deal with McConnell. McConnell's on point. And he's a better politician than Paul Ryan. When McConnell sits down with the president, he knows the votes. That's what the president needs. He needs someone that knows the politics. Absolutely, I agree with you. That's why I believe God put his hand on Trump. Trump's going to get reelected, and I'm getting it. It just conceivably is going to be a landslide. This might be a landslide. I dreamt last night a landslide. I couldn't believe it when I woke up.
The lawyers doing the sorting for Secretary Clinton in 2014 did not individually read the content of all of her emails as we did for those available to us. Instead, they relied on header information, and they used search terms to try to find all work-related.
You see, basically, true, I agree with you about the mail-in ballots. You're right. I agree with you all. I mean, we talked about this on the show. President Trump's has gone hard. He tweeted. I left the tweet in my. I'll bring the tweet tomorrow. He tweeted hard on it. He went hard with Michigan on that. Michigan's trying to pull a Fugazi. Yeah.
Emails among the reportedly more than 60,000.
See, it was basically what Comey's doing in the FBI is they're covering for Hillary, right? But they're not. They're trying to present this as they're being honest with the public, and they're really not. I don't believe them. I'm sorry. They know more than what they're telling us, I believe, and they wanted Hillary to win. There's reasons why they want Hillary to win real bad, because what they would probably been able to do with her as the president. Oh my God, it would have been on steroids. Oh my God, what would have happened over here? It would have been unbelievable.
Were remaining on her system at the end of 2014. It's highly.
You're right. I agree. They're trying to rig it. It's the only way they're going to try to.
Some work-related emails.
They're going to lose.
For example, in the mailboxes of other officials, or in the Slack space of a server.
There you go. Exactly, Lost.
There are other work-related emails they did not produce to state.
Do you know, Lost? Check it out. Go to the open source. I think it's John Lennon's wife, Okonono. She. Go to the open source. Lost. I think Okonono, John Lennon's wife. She admits to having a intimate affair. Not that I really don't care, but it's just for food for fodder. An intimate affair with Hillary Rodham Clinton. The Podesta emails. I agree. That's and Breitbart, who I was a big admirer. Hokuno, right there it is. Right, look that up. Look that up, bro. Breitbart was was one of my favorite media guys until he got killed. I think he was killed. I don't know, man. I have a hard time thinking he just died like that. Too much going on. They probably whacked him too. And he blogged on Twitter in 2011. Why isn't mainstream media? He blogged this in 2011. We're now in 2019, and Epstein is killed. He was killed, right? I don't have the evidence. I don't believe he just died of natural causes or he killed himself. He was killed. He couldn't die of natural causes, so they had to make it look like a suicide, and they killed him, right? Let's be honest and real. He had the goods on everybody. Celebrities too, right? True. Come on, man. This is crazy. Crazy. I forgot what I was going to say. It'll come back. I believe Epstein was killed. I believe Zeth Rich was killed. I believe Philip Haney was killed. The deep state. The intelligence. And look it up. Lost. Confirmed that she had an affair in the 70s. There you go. Right? There it is. There it is, Lost. All this stuff. Absolutely, Lee. God bless you. Thank you for the visit, Lee. Let's go back to Comey.
That we did not find elsewhere and that are now gone because they deleted all emails they did not
Crazy.
To state, and the lawyers then cleaned their devices in such a way as to preclude complete forensic recovery. We have conducted interviews and done technical examination to attempt to understand exactly how that sorting was done by her attorneys. Although we don't have complete visibility because we're not able to fully reconstruct the electronic record of that sorting, we believe our investigation has been sufficient to give us reasonable confidence there was no intentional misconduct.
Intentional again.
With that sorting effort.
Intention.
And of course, in
intent.
addition to our technical work, we interviewed many people, from those involved in setting up the personal email system.
So he's there basically to exonerate Hillary Clinton and just get all the information on her, right? So let's say hypothetically she did this on her own, and now she's trying to run, right? So he's fixing it for her so she can run, but the data that they have is that she would have been a puppet for the forget it, for the deep state. The goods that they had on the Clintons. That's why they love the Clintons, and the goods they got on the bombers. They love the bomber. They love them because they're so fake. They're so dirty, it's beyond belief how dirty they are. Beyond belief.
And maintaining the various iterations of Secretary Clinton's server, to staff members with whom she corresponded on email, to those involved in the email production to state, and finally Secretary Clinton herself. Last, we have done extensive work to try to understand what indications there might be of compromise by hostile actors in connection with that personal email system. So that's what we've done. Now let me tell you what we found.
Here we go.
Although we did not find clear evidence.
I'll be on tomorrow, Lost.
Or her colleagues intended.
Here we go. No clear evidence that her or colleagues intended. So now he's rewriting the statute. Now he's rewriting the U.S. espionage statute, and he's exonerating her, right? Eventually, he's going to exonerate her. So this whole process basically is a ruse for us, right? He's acting like he's giving us information that's honest and real, which I don't believe, right? Also, he's rewriting, so he's being dishonest. According to Andrew McCarthy, blank sheet prosecutor, he's rewriting the federal statute. So this is the deep state at its best, right here. This is why people like the Trumpers, the Trumpocrats, the Trumpicans, the independents for Trump. This is why Trump goes hard on these people. He rewrites the statute. Exactly. He just said it.
Laws governing the handling of classified
He just said it.
To those involved in the email production to state.
Listen.
Secretary Clinton herself.
Listen.
Last, we have done extensive work to try to understand what indications there might be of compromise by hostile actors in connection with that personal email system. So that's what we've done.
Listen.
Now let me tell you what we found.
What'd they find?
Although we did not find clear evidence that Secretary Clinton or her colleagues intended to violate laws governing the handling of classified information.
Intent. He said it again. Intent. John Deutsch, former CIA agent CIA director under Clinton, 51 classified docs and a computer in his house in the late 1990s, right? He lost George Tenet, the great CIA director that he was and is, hit John Deutsch with revoked his security clearance. William Jefferson Clinton, before he left, was afraid that Deutsch was going to talk, so he pardoned him. That's what happened over there. He pardoned him.
There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very
extremely careless
information. For example, 7 email chains concern matters that were classified at the top secret special.
7 email chains, top level classified, were on this server. What up, GN Bensonhurst?
Access program at the time they were sent and received. Those chains involved Secretary Clinton both sending emails about those matters and receiving emails about those same matters. There is evidence to support a conclusion that any reasonable person in Secretary Clinton's position or in the position of those with whom she was corresponding about those matters should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
So now he gives us a little, he says she should have known that those emails should not have been in this setting. But yet he says her intent, her intent wasn't to be malicious. In other words, to do harm against America. It's crazy. This is crazy. Now he's given us something to believe him, that he's being fair.
In addition to this highly sensitive information, we also found information that was properly classified as secret by the U.S. intelligence community at the time it was discussed on email. That is, excluding any later up-classified emails. None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, but their presence is especially concerning because all of these emails were housed on unclassified personal servers.
Wow.
Not even supported by full-time security staff, like those found at
God bless you, Lost.
Departments of the United States government, or even with a commercial email service like Gmail. I think it's also important to say something about the marking of classified information.
So he's going hard. I mean, after you listen to this, I can't believe that he said the intent isn't there, Lost, right? Because even he invoked an element of intent that's not required by Congress for a felony violation for the U.S. espionage statute, according to Andrew McCarthy, blank sheet prosecutor. That's not required. So he exonerated her. And then not only did he get her off the hook for violating the U.S. espionage statute. He exonerated her. He's actually now he's trying to show us, the public, that he's being fair, that he's honest and fair, because he's showing us, he's giving us a little something. He's not giving us everything, because they're not going to give us everything, because that's not the purpose of this. The purpose of this is to get Hillary Rodham Clinton in the White House so we could use all of it against her. All of it, because she's compromised. Like Barack Hussein Obama, Michelle Michael Obama, William Jefferson Clinton. These are compromised people, like beyond belief. Like snorting coke in the White House and doing stuff like that. These are compromised people. Like de Blasio smoking pot in Gracie Mansion. These are compromised people. That's why they're there.
Only a very small number of the emails here containing classified information bore markings that indicated the presence of classified information. But even if information is not marked classified in an email, participants who know or should know that the subject matter
You're right, GN.
are still obligated to protect it. And while not the focus of our investigation, we also developed evidence that the security culture of the State Department, in general, and with respect to the use of unclassified systems in particular, was generally lacking in the kind of care for classified information that's found elsewhere in the U.S. government. With respect to potential computer intrusion by hostile actors, we did not find direct evidence that Secretary Clinton's personal email domain, in its various configurations since 2009, was hacked successfully. But given the nature of the system, and if
Probably was, but he ain't going to tell us. We're not going to tell us. Why? Why does he have to? That's his information to use against her. That's why they wanted her in the White House so bad.
the actors potentially involved, we assess we would be unlikely to see such direct evidence.
Telling you, Greenwood.
We do assess that hostile actors gained access to the private commercial email accounts of people with whom Secretary Clinton was in regular contact from her personal account.
Wow.
We also assess that Secretary Clinton's use of a personal email domain was both known by a large number of people and readily apparent. She also used her personal email extensively while outside the United States,
Wow.
including sending and receiving work-related emails in the territory of sophisticated adversaries.
Crazy.
Given that combination of factors, we assess it is possible that hostile actors gained access to Secretary Clinton's personal email account.
Probably done purposely, right? These are not stupid people. That was done purposely. All this stuff is a subterfuge. He's not telling us the facts. He's not telling us the truth. He's exonerating Hillary Clinton, as we know, because that's how this thing ends. He's given us enough to feel that we believe him, and to show that he's doing this. He's doing the country honorable thing to do. When she was a disgrace, the Obama-Clinton crime family is full of scandal. Full of scandal.
So that's what we found. Finally, with respect to our recommendation to the Department of Justice. In our system, the prosecutors make the decisions about whether charges are appropriate based on evidence that the FBI helps collect. Although we don't normally make public our recommendations to the prosecutors, we frequently make recommendations and engage in productive conversations with prosecutors about what resolution.
So the fix is in, everybody. The fix was in.
In this case,
the fix was in, right? She had a server in a basement of her house giving away the nuclear codes. What up, Tammy? God bless you. Thank you for the visit. So she had a server in the basement of her house giving away the nuclear codes to unfettered foreign enemy actors of this great nation, right? And the FBI, the rogue wing of the FBI, Comey Moeller wing of the FBI, the Brennan Morrell Panetta wing of the CIA, wanted Hillary Rodham Clinton in the White House. Why? Because she was compromised beyond belief. This is nothing on what they know. This is just enough. And he invokes, according to Andrew McCarthy, blind sheet prosecutor, he invokes an element of intent not required by Congress. Congress writes the laws, not the FBI. This is the whole point. And Chris Wallace will stand there with a straight face at his desk at Fox News, arguably one of the best broadcasting companies on the planet, very powerful seat, influencing public opinion with fake newsmakers, a fake broadcaster, and only Josh Holmes holding up the segment. If Josh Holmes wasn't there to hold up that segment, the former chief of staff of Mitch McConnell, that segment would be totally fake. Total fake news. Totally.
Case, given the importance of the matter, I think unusual transparency is in order. Although there is evidence of potential violations of the statutes regarding the handling of classified information,
there is evidence. So he's posing it. There is evidence of violation of the U.S. espionage statute, but
our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case.
No reasonable prosecutor would bring the case because of the element of intent.
Necessarily weigh a number of factors before deciding whether to bring charges. There are obvious considerations like the strength of the evidence, especially regarding intent.
Especially regarding intent. There it is. Especially regarding intent. Andrew McCarthy, blind street prosecutor. You don't need the element of intent to have a felony violation of the U.S. espionage statute. Unbelievable. This is the poster child of the deep state. July 5th, 2016. There isn't any much more we need to know. What else more do we need to know? Then we go to the Pfizer warrant, the anti-Trump dossier. Those two vectors alone, these vectors in this and the vectors with the Pfizer warrant and the unmasking of Flynn and then leaking it. What else more you need to know, Chris Wallace? Where's the reporting here? Because you're fake news. Trump is right again.
Decisions also consider the context of a person's actions and how similar situations have been handled in the past. In looking back at our investigations into the mishandling or removal of classified information, we cannot find a case that would support bringing criminal charges on these facts.
Unbelievable.
All the cases
he exonerated her.
Involved some combination of clearly intentional and willful mishandling of classified
intent again,
or vast quantities of information exposed in such a way as to support an inference of intentional misconduct.
Wow.
Indications of disloyalty to the United States or efforts to obstruct justice.
she has all this sensitive information all over the place in the overall. I mean, the security and safety of the classified information, according to Comey, was highly questionable. And he said this, but there is no evidence of intent to do this, which you don't need anyway, according to Andrew McCarthy, blind chief prosecutor.
We do not see those things here. To be clear, this is not to suggest that in similar circumstances, a person who engaged in this activity would face no consequences.
Wow.
To the contrary.
To the contrary.
Individuals are often subject to security or administrative sanctions, but that's not what we're deciding now. As a result, although the Department of Justice makes final decisions on matters like this, we are expressing to Justice our view that no charges are appropriate in this case.
No charges. He exonerated her.
Intense public debate in the wake of this recommendation, as there was throughout the investigation. What I can
You're a fraud.
Is that this investigation?
You're a fraud, Comey. Oh my God.
And independently, no outside influence of any kind was brought to bear. I know there were many opinions expressed.
You believe that? Do you believe this?
I know there will be intense public debate in the wake of this recommendation, as there was throughout the investigation. What I can assure the American people is that this investigation was done honestly, competently, and independently. No outside influence of any kind was brought to bear. I know there were.
You believe that? He said this analysis was done fairly, no outside influence. Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, her boss, his boss, met with Bill Clinton on a tarmac before this press conference. Loretta Lynch was the AG. That's his boss. Comey, me a break. What a fraud. This is so bad, it's beyond belief how bad this is.
Opinions expressed by people who are not part of the investigation, including people in government. But none of that mattered to us.
What a ruse this is. These are bad people. Very bad people.
By insight into our investigation.
These are very, very bad people.
Only facts matter.
Only facts matter.
Found them here in an entirely apolitical and professional way.
He says this is apolitical and professional way. You believe this?
Thank you very much.
And you got the DNC, the stealth jihad radicalism with the CAIR, the Council of American Islamic Relations, and then you got broadcasters like Chris Wallace promoting this garbage. Unbelievable. This is the reasons why. Now tomorrow, because it's getting late, it's already 11:30. I'm gonna call it a night. It's almost 2 hours. I'm tired, so I'm gonna call it a night. Tomorrow I'll be on the air tomorrow night. I'm gonna go to the Chris Wallace. I'm trying to find it. I'll find it for tomorrow. The Chris Wallace panel with Juan Williams and Donna Brazile over President Trump's whacking of General Soleimani. This press conference, James Comey, July 5th, 2016, is the poster child of the deep state. When people come to you like the lefties and say, oh, there's no existence of the deep state. How do you know, Russo? July 5th, 2016, unequivocally proves it. And then you go to the Andrew McCarthy, one of the renowned legal scholars in America, with Mark Levin, Jonathan Turley. He's in that class. This guy is top notch. Blind sheep prosecutor. He goes after Comey like you wouldn't believe. And this is why the Trumpers, the Trumpocrats, the Trumplicans, the independents for Trump. I mean, these are reasons why, and our great President Donald John Trump goes nuts with the media. It's stuff like this. It's stuff like the Pfizer warrant. And then the unmasking and leaking, and then you saw it, you heard it today. Chris Wallace is questioning, well, the unmasking isn't, it's the leaking. But that's the whole point of this thing. A criminal act was present against an incoming Trump administration in transition. This is unheard of. This is why we go crazy. This is why our great president goes crazy with the mainstream media. This is unconscionable. This stuff happens in the Maduro. I expect this in the Maduro regime. Chris Wallace is in the wrong country. Chris Wallace should be the broadcaster for the Venezuelan news network. He should do Maduro's work. He'd be great over there. This is the stuff that Maduro does. He's not even, and by the way, the similarities between him and Obama. Obama's is a little more sophisticated, that's all. Maduro was born in Bogota, Colombia. We don't even know where Obama was born. This is crazy stuff. Do you believe the deep state in their assessment of Obama? I mean, come on, man. You got to be living in a bubble. Seriously. You got to be living in a bubble. Like a serious bubble. Beyond belief. That presidency, the Obama-Clinton crime family, that presidency, that seat that Obama sat in, that was bought. That was bought by the royal family, the Saudis, and or the Qatar, the royal family of Qatar. That was bought. And he was already communicating with the Khomeini before he got into even office. and he had a server, his campaign server, his fundraising server that got him all that foreign money was located in China. This stuff, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. You just can't. You can't make this stuff up. This is unbelievable. So tomorrow, I'm going to review this quickly, and then we're going to go to the Chris Wallace, and just to show you why we're so incensed about this, and why President Trump is on the attack of mainstream media. Because not only do you got the DNC, the Donna Brazils, the Juan Williamses, the Shepard Smiths, right? That girl Marie Harf. I mean, these Jessica whatever her name is. These people are just DNC talking points. They're a disgrace. DNC talking points. That's all they are. Stealth jihad radical Islamists. You know who runs that party? CARE, the Council of American Islamic Relations. And we got Alan Bender's deposition. I read half of it. I'm gonna bring it back because unfortunately with this horrific virus and everything, we had to put it on the back burner. But I'm coming back with the Congresswoman Omar's. She's a Qatari, a Erdogan asset, Qatari asset. Crazy stuff. What has infiltrated the Democratic National Committee? From Keith Ellison swearing in under the Quran, and Andrew Carson swearing in under the Quran, Congresswoman Tlaib swearing under the Quran, Congresswoman Omar swearing under the Quran. This is crazy stuff, man. And just look, I'm telling you, it's as sinister as you think it is, or worse. What they're hiding is an infiltration like Iranian spies inside the FBI. Lisa Page, Monica Witt. Monica Witt, Lisa Page. Who's who? This is crazy stuff, man. So I'll see you all tomorrow night. Lee Greenwood, Elbow, Justin, who else? That's all I remember. GN, God bless you, my brother. Thank you for the visit. Bensonhurst. I'll be in tomorrow night. Absolutely, Greenwood. I'll be in tomorrow night. God bless you all. I'll be tomorrow night about 9:30ish Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on the air tomorrow night. God bless you. God bless you all. Thank you for the visit. You got to join my app. If you haven't already, please, if you want to help Frankie Russo. I'm trying to get to 500. I'm going to start my campaign very shortly. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. So you just got to go to, absolutely, you got to go to Frankie, you got to go to the Apple Store or the Google Play and put in Frankie Russo. You see Apple's team. America's team. I'm sorry. America's team. Download the app, right? I'm going to be getting my podcasts from my shows at ABC, so it's going to be cool. And I'm very close I'm creeping toward getting back on the air. Very close. I'm not going to say yet till it's official, but we're getting really close. So we're going to get the old podcasts, the old shows that's going to be part of the coming on board. You got to get on my app. Okay? And then, so just go to you can just go to my Twitter account, at Frankie Russo 1 on Twitter, and it's pinned. It's right there. It's pinned. Go right in. It's free. It's free now. I'm going to come out with a date when I know I'm going on the air, on the radio, and you're going to have to pay. You're going now, you don't have to pay. At some point in time, because I'm trying to generate revenue so I can stay on the air. So I need your help to become a subscriber. We're not talking about a lot of money, but if I can get 500 to 1,000 subscribers, I have a nice little revenue stream to stay on the air. And then I have it has these various digital advertising as part of the app, so it could be really cool. So this is where I am. Okay. So God bless you all in the room. Thank you for the visit. God bless the men and women of the United States Armed Forces. Thank you for your service. Thank you for providing with the freedom that I love. And as broadcast, God bless the greatest country on the planet, America. Tomorrow's Memorial Day week, Memorial Day, and we'll, obviously, our great president is going to have a tribute for the men and women of the United States Armed Forces, the vets, past and present, but for the grace of God Almighty. So God bless the greatest country on the planet, America, and God bless our great president, Donald John Trump. This is Frankie Russo. I'll see you tomorrow night, Monday, 9:30ish, Eastern Standard Time. This is Frankie Russo, and I'll